In this module, we're going to take a look at physical touch as the primary love language. When a child speaks physical touch as their primary love language, they connect that touch with affection, and it helps them to build that bonding and attachment that's so important to feel connected to an adult in their world. That helps them feel safe. It helps them learn and build that self-confidence. Physical touch is also accompanied by conversation and language, that interaction that goes on. And even if the child is an infant, that conversation and back and forth can still take place and should be a part of the physical touch love language. It should be accompanied by the other love languages, again, especially for younger children, because as we know, as we've talked about throughout this training, children who are young often are not quite at their primary love language yet. But as a child gets older and is maturing, they will become more in tune with a specific love language. So physical touch for an older child might still look like cuddling or hugging, or just even bumping fists. The other thing that physical touch is accompanied by: smiles and eye contact, playing together. When you enjoy playing together and something is funny, just kind of patting the child on the shoulder as you laugh together. And then physical touch is also accompanied by or part of caretaking. So when you help a child wash their hands, or for a smaller child, when you change their diaper, you should be talking with them and using appropriate touch. In order to fill the bank of a child who speaks the love language of physical touch, you need to make sure that you are providing physical closeness, whether that's allowing the child to sit in your lap or giving lots of hugs or high fives. They need that throughout the day. And then you want to combine that with language that expresses affection. So saying I love you when you're hugging, for instance. And then you want to communicate that you accept the child and want to keep the child safe through that physical touch. And you also want to use physical touch, obviously, when a child is sad or hurt or not feeling well. All of these things together combine for any child, other than children who have a diversion to touch, to build that attachment and bonding. On the flip side of that, you want to make sure that if a child is very, very sensitive to touch or does not like touch, if they have sensory issues, that you are connecting with them still through eye contact and that sort of thing in place of touch, if that's something that bothers them. Some things to remember: different cultures value different love languages, and so for some cultures, physical touch might not be a part of nurturing. And then others, it's going to be a large part of it. So you need to really be in tune with the family and pulling in the cultures and traditions from the home as much as you can. And that means talking with the parent about love languages. So if you're able to have a family night or a family meeting, or include it in your questions at the beginning of the year on things that the families fill out, it can help you to make sure that you're bringing all of those sensitivities and awarenesses into what you're doing in the classroom. Some cultures are going to value more academic development, and so looking at making sure that you're helping children of all cultures get along with others socially is very important. However, that the touch being an attachment for a child isn't necessarily going to always be there, depending on the child's culture and background. So you want to be sensitive to that. And you want to make sure that you're embedding the family's cultural practices.